This is really going to be to see, my own progress and stuff as well. Okay. All right. So if you're monitoring the chat, I'm taking the chat off. I'm actually not going to do a presentation or anything. I'm just going to have a conversation with you all. So today we're going to talk about self-confidence. But before I get started, I would like for each of you to put in the chat on a scale of 1 to 5, on average, how confident you feel. 5 being most confident, 1 being never, ever confident. Never even know you've never known what it feels like to be confident. I'm just curious.
Where's the chat at?
It's in there. Okay, so we got like 3, 2.5, 3, right in the middle. Most days, like on average, you're right in the middle. Kristen and Becca, tell Becca I said what's up. Kirsten, it says money for
Hi,
you.
Robyn.
What's up, Becca? Kirsten, money was not an option for this one.
I'm trying my hardest, okay? I'm trying to peel something and type at the same time.
That means really confident in our book. So, okay, so 3, okay. Thank you, Kylie. All right, so on average, I would say for myself, I'm pretty much 4 or 5 range, but it's taken a lot of work to get here. On most days, it's a 5. A lot of times, it's going to be either a trigger or some kind of weird external event that just like knocks me down for a minute, and then I get right back up. So I want to just kick it off by like, what is self-confidence? So a lot of people think self-confidence is the same as believing in yourself. And I want to share with you that this is not the same thing. Believing in yourself is not the same as self-confidence or just confidence in general. To me, confidence is something that you earn when you prove things to yourself, right? So after you've taken certain actions in your life and gained self-trust, you feel more confident about the things you do. So if you think about, for example, like different areas in your life, we've got like 6 general areas. We've got family, friends, career, hobby, personal development, and health. These are 6 just general areas. Of these areas, which areas do you feel like you're the best in or the best at? And then taking that one step further, why do you feel like you're so good in that area? A lot of times, like somebody drop an example in the chat. Like, what's an area that you actually feel good about, you're confident in? Out of like family, friends, career, hobby, personal development, or health? Which one do you feel good about? Or you can come off mute and tell me career. Yeah, see, and I'm actually the same, definitely family, hobby, career. Awesome. So the reason why is because a lot of times we've just spent more time and energy there, right? For whatever reason, we had more motivation to kick off something in this area, whether it was money motivation, Kirsten, or, some type of motivation that's driving that. You want to get experience, you want to become something, so you put more time, energy, and focus in this area, and you do things, and you keep trying, and you keep trying, and over time, you're building confidence in yourself, which is essentially what gives you that self-trust, that knowing that if I put myself back in this situation or try again, I know I'm going to land on my feet. So there's a general sense of knowing. The difference is self-confidence and arrogance, right? Arrogance is not the same. Arrogance, in my opinion, is an inflated sense of self or ego. Arrogance is a facade, a shell. This is a front that we typically put up temporarily that convinces someone else that we are more confident than we essentially really are. But a lot of times, arrogance is not, my career does not have money motivation, unfortunately. That's perfectly fine, Kirsten. I was only making a joke about your confidence level being a dollar sign. But a lot of times the people that are arrogant can't back up what they're saying. So you'll kind of hear lip service, right? I'm just giving a quick contradiction here. People who are like talking the talk but not walking the walk are the people I'm referring to, that claim to be confident. But if you actually ask them a question or try to dig into what they're selling, in a sense, you're not going to be able to dig very far or go very deep. They're going to dodge the conversation. They're going to dodge whatever it is that you're presenting because it's not backed by true proof of achieving a thing. But they're still trying to, okay, I have to, hold on, let me turn this off. Sorry. but they still have to, can you hear me? Can everybody hear me? Okay. They still are putting themselves out there and trying something, which means there's a sense of like self-belief that's there, but they don't really have the confidence yet because they haven't proven it to themselves. Confidence is something, and I actually just posted about this on social media recently. Confidence is something that happens after you've proven something to yourself. You've actually taken action, done it, and you feel a sense of confidence. For example, yesterday I gave my first in-person speech at Duke Energy. This was huge. I have never done it. I've done virtual stuff. I have facilitated workshops, but I've never done it in person. And this was in person and virtual. So we had like 200 people on the call, like 30. Thank you so much. We had like 30 people in person, and because there was like COVID and all this stuff. And I had 2 weeks to prepare for this. And I had never done it before. I didn't know if it was gonna be a flop. Like I didn't know if I was gonna get up there and freeze. I didn't know what was gonna happen, but I believed in myself and I put myself in that situation anyways. And when I started and I got going and everything started running smoothly, I was myself. You know what I'm saying? Like it wasn't this big, crazy, challenging thing. All that time I took to prepare paid off because I was myself. People were laughing, people were asking questions. And when I was done and everybody was thanking me and they were grateful for what I shared, I could feel the confidence setting in. So to me, confidence is something that happens pretty much after you've put an effort into something, proven to yourself that you can do it. And you can also prove it to others. So that's basically how confidence works in my world, right? I have proven it to myself over and over again. And me personally, career is also an area where I feel more confident because I've put a lot of time, energy, and effort, just like you all have, right? We're women here. We're passionate about life and the things that we do, and we're out here killing it. And the more you keep tackling that thing, the better you're going to get at it. The more you can share your experience with others, possibly teach others to do what you do, and you get even better. The same applies to those other areas of your life. We are a group of girls here, right? We're coming together essentially to make new friends. We have another girl joining. We're here to make new friends. There are so many people who join this group, I cannot tell you, on some of these walks where they haven't been out of the house since COVID, right? They're like, I don't talk to anybody. I am in total isolation, but I know I need to do this for myself. So they get out there, and then I notice that some girls are just quiet, right? They want to be real quiet, or they don't want to be, but they don't know how else to be. And so I start having a conversation and I start talking to them and asking them about themselves, get them loosed up a little bit, and just talk about who we are. And in doing that, I noticed that other people start doing that, and then everybody just gets warmed up. You're just building confidence. So every time you come back to another walk or you go and hang out with other friends, you're just doing the same thing. You know, we can talk about light and fluffy stuff too. We don't always have to talk about the hard stuff, the heavy stuff. We do that enough. You know, I'm assuming that we're all on our own personal development journey here. So we're constantly working on ourselves. It's nice every now and then just to break away and be friends with people and just talk about new things and refresh our minds. So I've noticed that some of the girls in the group have also built up their self-confidence, which is super cool. Reaching out and saying, hey, does anybody want to hang out? That's not always an easy thing to do because you might not get a response, but that doesn't mean you stop trying. You know, that doesn't mean you stop trying. So in my book, that's how confidence works. Now, how to build it, I noticed that a few of you said that you're right around the 3 range, which is dead center. It's a safe place to be. On some days you feel really confident, on some days not so confident. So right there in the middle, that's normal, I think. Confidence is like building a muscle, right? It's like you're building a muscle here. We don't just wake up and woke up like this. No, it doesn't always happen like that, right? Confidence is something that you can develop over time by making choices and decisions that align with your highest truth, that will get you closer to your goals every time you make a choice, and you start building that trust in yourself, and you get better at making better decisions towards the goals and everything that you set out to achieve in your life. And as you continue to make the right decision for you, you're going to build more and more confidence as you move forward because you're gaining that self-trust. So you keep putting yourself in the right situation, not all situations, the right situations that serve your highest purpose and are reflecting back to you what you want to see and what you want to receive, right? A lot of times we find ourselves hanging out with people that are depleting our energy. Why are we doing that? Why are we doing that? We are literally sacrificing ourselves every time we do that. And I'm guilty of this. I'm only speaking from experience, where that people pleaser in me wanted to get out there and be like, yes, 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 yes to everybody. But the truth is that's not going to build my confidence. That's actually going to take me the other direction because I'm not choosing to align with what it is I truly want, right? I mean, it might take a minute where you're in isolation or you don't find people like you while you're navigating your friend circle or getting rid of friends. You might feel kind of solo until you find people who better align. But to me, it's worth it to do it that way than to continuously put yourself around people who are not aligned with where you're going in life, who are not supportive or who are jealous, or who anything along those lines are essentially taking from your energy, right? These are people that are constantly taking from your energy. Maybe you don't even realize it's happening, but it's happening because you're having to adapt too much. You're exerting too much energy to be in an environment you really don't want to be in. That's where I'm going. That does not help you build confidence. And to build your confidence, you're going to have to say no to the things that don't align with the direction you're going in. Does that make sense? Yeah. Do you have any questions? Any comments or anything that you want to say here? Because I feel like I'm about to just go on a rant. You can drop any questions, ladies, that you all who just joined. If you want to drop anything in the chat, we're also looking there. Awesome. Thank you, Melanie. If you have any questions, feel free to put them there. And then I'll ask us towards the end. We'll do like a Q&A just to check in. So it's like building a muscle. So I'll give you an example here. There was a group of friends that I was hanging out with that every time I hung out with them, my intuition was like screaming at me. This thing was like, no. But I was like, oh, I just felt this sense of obligation to be there. I didn't know what that was or why that was happening, but it was happening. I just felt this sense of obligation to be there because I had always been there, right? And I got to a point where I had to choose me. And the moment I chose me, meaning the moment I responded to that text and said, you know what, tonight's not going to work for me. I wish you guys the best, have fun. And I kept doing that to all the people I just didn't feel aligned with anymore. I started building that trust in myself and getting more confident when it came to friendships. I was more intentional about my friendships, which is one of those areas I mentioned earlier, right? A lot of us are like, I need better friends. I need better friends. Well, really, it just starts with that choice. Like, don't choose friends that aren't for you. You have to actually cancel out what's not aligned with you in order to create space for what is. Does that make sense? Right? It's like, yeah, I mean, it's like anything. It's like romantic relationships. It's anything. You have to create space. You have to clear your energy of that thing so you can welcome in the energy of the better thing. Because a lot of times the better thing is going to need more space. It's going to need more heart space. It's going to need more emotional space to accommodate. So it has to be a thing that's going to come in and reciprocate and feed you. You're going to fuel each other. That's where the power's at there. Another way to build confidence. This one's pretty powerful. I learned this in a meditation. Does anybody use Insight Timer by chance? Yeah, that's my jam. Whenever I'm like in a weird state, I have my few people on there that I listen to, and it changes the game. So there's a girl on there that spoke about confidence, and she said confidence is not a prerequisite, which supports what I was just sharing, right? You guys can take notes if you need to, or you can just hear me out. But like, it's not a prerequisite. A lot of people think they need confidence in order to execute or do something. It's not confidence that's needed. It's just belief in yourself, belief that you deserve the thing that you are setting out to achieve or whatever, or that you desire. You deserve that thing. Absolutely. Headspace is also a great resource for meditation and confidence boosting talks. Absolutely. It's all coming together here. Yes, because that's also how you get organized upstairs. You know what I'm saying? You got to stay organized up here. You got to keep it clear up here because what's up here reflects out here. And if you don't like what you're seeing out here, you need to go inside and fix some things in here, or maybe in your heart. There's something that needs to be cleared out usually. So she says it's not a prerequisite, but what she did say was, let's say that you're like me, where yesterday, can somebody put Insight Timer in the chat? It's Insight Timer. It's a meditation app, super recommended. You can also see where everybody around the world is currently using the app. You know the part I'm talking about, Kylie, right? You can see all these little lit up lights around the world. It's so cute. So she says, think back to a time when you did something and you did something well, right? Something else. It doesn't have to be the same thing that you're about to do, but you did something and you did something well, and you'll feel that confidence. You can actually revisit that memory and regain that sense of confidence just by channeling that memory. So a lot of times that could be a nice strategy if you're about to try something new. Let's say you're going in for an interview or just doing something totally out of your comfort zone. Just think back to a time where you like nailed something. You gave something a shot and you did so good at it and you felt that confidence. Just rechannel your own energy. That's a building technique that I've used. So you're building it like a muscle, you're gaining trust. You're intentionally putting yourself in situations where you're around people who are reciprocating your energy. The worst thing is to be around people who do not support you and your goals, who do not see the best version of you. That's why they say the people around you, your 5 main influencers around you, are the most important of everything. This comes to money, this comes to life, this comes to friendship, this comes to everything. The 5 people around you are the average of those 5 people, right? So if you're around a bunch of negative Nancy's or just one negative Nancy, you're probably going to have to say, listen, I'm going to need you to step aside because we're living life differently these days. And a lot of people are addicted to their suffering, and you got to let them be. Yeah. The thing is, when your intuition is telling you something and your mind hasn't fully caught up to what your intuition already knows, you're going to have a little bit of conflict here, and you're going to have even more conflict if your intuition is telling you something and you're not listening. Does that make sense? You're going to feel so much angst in your body when your intuition is literally talking to you and you're not listening. Your intuition is not a loud, aggressive voice. It is a subtle, gentle, knowing guidance system that is working at all times if you would only listen to it. It's subtle and gentle. We're women, right? We're women. So we have a very soft side to us. That intuition is a lot of times a part of that softer nature of ours. And it's going to come through very subtly if you're listening. But if you're not listening, what's the saying? This thing cracks me up. It's a saying about God, but it's basically like, first you get a whisper, then you get like a smack or something, and then you get knocked out. I don't know, maybe it's not a God thing, but it's kind of like it comes to you in a whisper first. If you don't listen, the message is going to come through a little more aggressively to tell you that's the wrong way. And then it's going to come through and slam you. And that's usually in a really extreme case. And a lot of times we're so hard-headed that it takes us going through something traumatic before we get the freaking lesson. Unfortunately, that's how a lot of us finally are like, no more. And we set a boundary and we start gaining confidence. Oh, that's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying. Kylie, you are listen. They used to all be negative around me, but I had to get real with myself. They were negative around me because I was negative, because I was in pain and I had things going on.
Yeah,
that's what I'm trying to say. Like, everybody, you're going to be around people who are going through stuff and don't know how to process it.
Oh, if I tell
you
my
can
mom,
unmute. I can't hear you for some reason. Oh, there you go.
Can you hear me?
Now I can hear you.
Okay, good.
Please talk. I'm so sorry.
You're good. I don't know all this stuff. But what is in your? Sorry, I'm talking to my cat. I tell my mom that all the time because my mom is a very like caring person and stuff like that. But she kept going back to these friends who wouldn't call her back or take her money and not pay her back and kind of just leave her on a thread all the time. And I'm like, you just have to let it go. You have to stop hanging out with these kind of people. That's great that they're good people, but they're not good people to you. And that's just showing what kind of a friend they are. And you're going to get emotionally exhausted because right now you're complaining to me about what they're doing.
Yep.
So that's just taking on anxiety and thinking about something that doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
So I try to tell her that all the time. Don't expect people to be how you would be.
But that's where the self-belief aspect comes in, because you got to believe that you're worthy of something better than that.
Yeah.
So if you can believe that you're worthy of that, and then you constantly put your energy and focus towards that wish, which better aligns with you, or that which you really want, you have to believe that you deserve that, that you can have that in your life. And then as soon as you believe that you can have it, you're going to start going after it. And then in time, when you finally get it, you're going to be confident in yourself. It's kind of like this cycle that happens over and over again. So yeah, I mean, and sometimes those are hard conversations to have. Like, I've got people reaching out to me from my past right now because I do feel like I've gotten to another level because I chose to believe in myself and I chose to go after these things, right? And so I have especially guys from my past. I mean, it's just the way it goes. Let's be real. And they're like, "Hey, Robyn, you want to grab some coffee? You want to get a drink? You want to go out?" Actually, like, there is not one. I literally had a guy that reached out, and I said, "You couldn't pay me to go back to my past." You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't go back to those previous versions of myself if you handed me $1 million today. I promise. I would rather be broke and happy than back in that with money. Yeah. So, and confidence takes time. You don't, it's this wobbly thing at first, right? You're like, because you're going to do the thing that makes you uncomfortable. You're going to do the thing that you've never really done before, which is saying no to the things you don't want, right? Which is setting those boundaries. It's uncomfortable, but it's only uncomfortable until you get good at it. Because we don't have to be like, when we're telling people, look, I'm on this other journey now and I'm kind of protecting my peace and what that looks like. You don't have to go wild and yell at people to get them away from you. You know what I'm saying? You can have an adult conversation and just say, hey, look, I'm going a different direction. I wish you the best. I've learned a lot from this friendship or relationship. Keep it moving. So yeah, there's that. So does anybody have any other questions or comments? I mean, we're about 30 minutes in. Any other stories maybe that you've had recently where you've actually stepped into your confidence potentially? Yeah. What's up, Kylie?
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Well, last Sunday was my first walk, I think. This one is canceled. Okay, so it was the last one. So I just moved here a few months ago, and I was like, okay, I need to find some friends. I need to gain that confidence and just go find people because I'm sure there's more people out here. And when I saw the page and everything, that's great. I was like, okay, I'm going to push myself to go to this walk. And I didn't go to the first one I knew about because I got too nervous. And I was like, everybody already knows each other. I'm not going to make any friends. They're not going to like me or whatever. This past Sunday proved there was so many people that were new. And I made a ton of friends and I'm hanging out with them during the week. And I'm like, wow, I'm so glad I did that. Now I'm going to keep going every single time. And I'm joining this and I want to come to this and I want to go to Tuesday walks. Like it gave me the confidence as soon as I realized I wasn't the only one and everybody was so nice.
So I want to actually nail down something while you're on here. I want you to repeat those limiting beliefs that you had before you joined the group. So let's rehash those really fast because that's literally what stands in everybody's way is their own limiting beliefs, right?
Yeah.
So what was the one that you said? You said go ahead.
Everybody already knew each other. Nobody was going to like me. What else did I say?
Those are good.
I think those are, yeah.
We can stick to those. So everybody already knows each other. So let's pretend everybody does already know each other. So what?
I would try to make my way in the group or stand very awkwardly until somebody spoke to me.
So it's more of like this click fear, right?
Yeah.
Where they're not going to let you in almost. Yeah, we're not like that. We're not like that at all. In fact,
not because everybody was just coming up to me and I'm just like, hello, this is kind of weird. Hello, how are you? Because as soon as I walked up, they were like, what's your name? I was like, I'm Kylie. That's your name.
I love that actually, because that's important to me. Like the last thing I want is to have a culture of women that don't welcome other women.
Right. Yeah.
Like I don't do the whole gossip thing. That doesn't help anybody. It really doesn't. And honestly, all it does is create division, and I'm not about division. I'm
Right.
literally I don't even want the group to split up when we're crossing the street. Do you know what I'm saying? Like I want everybody to stay together and let's talk and be nice. And then what was the second one again?
No one was gonna like me.
No one was gonna like you.
Yeah.
So can I be honest with you about that really fast?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. I had to ask permission first. No one is gonna like me. Do you know that is just, I mean, you probably already know this, but that's based on your perception of you.
Yes. I've always been very self-critical. And my first instinct is that everybody was gonna think the exact same thing.
So we got to knock both of those beliefs.
Yeah, and I'm doing that step by step. You know, new place, new job. You know, just moved in with a boyfriend. Have no friends here. I'm just like, okay, I'm in a weird space. Let me see if anybody else can like help me out of this funk.
When did you move here?
February.
Wow. Do you know that on that Sunday walk, there was a girl walking next to me? She's like, I just moved here yesterday. I was like, what
Yeah.
are you doing here?
Oh, Morgan was her name. She literally just moved from Michigan that Saturday.
I know. She literally had only opened her suitcase.
Yeah, literally. Her whole
Y'all
family
cracked me
went
up.
at 4. And I was like, good for you. That's awesome.
Y'all crack me up. Yeah. I mean, I thought like, because we have Sunday walks and there was somebody who mentioned that they had moved on Thursday. I thought that was our record. But the day before the walk, that's our so far. Wow. So I think we have a couple questions here. Let's see. Kirsten, what do you think is the best way to help others build self-confidence? So to build trust in yourself. So your new volleyball team seriously lacks self-confidence. They doubt themselves based on their experience with their last coach. Oh, that sucks. How do you think we can best help them work on their own self-confidence? Small wins help you build self-confidence. Small wins roll up into big wins. Does that make sense? So let's say that you guys were doing an exercise and you just wanted to see if somebody could, I'm trying to go volleyball here. I'm not good at this, but like maybe they need to learn how to serve a certain way. They just practice that and then until they get it, or whatever version of small win. You just want to create small wins. I don't know how to put it in the context of volleyball very well, but I would say an exercise that's attainable for most people that they can achieve and achieve and achieve and keep achieving, because what happens is as you achieve it, your brain registers the achievement and there's like a dopamine hit that occurs. And so they want to do it again and they want to do it again. So if you kind of make small wins attainable for them, I think that's a start. Another one is using the different love languages. I know this seems strange, but a lot of people need words of affirmation to get them through. Good job, you nailed it. Heck yeah. Or if they didn't do it, we don't have to focus on what they didn't do right. You know, we don't have to just laser focus and like, you suck. Like that's definitely not good coaching. Good coaching is a lot of times the person knows what they did wrong when it's gone wrong. So by focusing on the moment in the future, like how can we do better moving forward, and allowing them to say it. Let people own their own like awareness sometimes. Like let them, so they just missed something or maybe they weren't good at something. Even though they tried, you tried, try again, try again, try again. Never end on a fail either is something else that I learned. So if somebody just failed at something or didn't execute properly, make them do it again. Do it again. Do it again. Get them in the process of not giving up. You know, so keep trying, keep trying. Sports coaching is different because you're coaching skill. You know, skill isn't developed overnight. What do they say? Rome isn't built in a day. I mean, there's going to be a lot of practice required. No matter what, it's going to take practice. You're not going to really see results for a period of time. And everybody develops at different stages. So some people, maybe they've been playing volleyball since they were 2 years old. I don't know if that's possible, but you never know. And these are people that are in there playing. They're going to be at a different stage than people who just started playing that day. So to kind of keep that loose as well. Does that answer your question, Kirsten? You can also come off mute if.
I think I mean more like activities that we can do with them to help them recognize their own self-worth. Because, like, obviously I'm not going to sit there and tell them they're terrible. So I think, like, being able to, like, little activities, little things that we could do, like, at the beginning, like Kylie said, the sticky notes that she puts on her mirror, that's cute. I could put that in the locker room or something. So, like, little ways that we could help, or even activities that we can lead them through to help with that. So, like, you just suggested that app. Now, I can't force all the girls to download this app, but, you know, to be able to walk them through some sort of exercise or something like that, or some sort of activity that helps them recognize, like, hey, I don't suck, and whoever told me that lied to me.
I think one of the best things you can do when you're at the start of anything is team building, because you'll feel confident when you have support around you, and support is built through team building. When you can kind of pick up each other's weaknesses and everybody can kind of step in and help each other. That, to me, I find, so team building exercises that get everybody warmed up and working together so you don't feel like you're alone. That's something that I know has worked in other areas I've worked in, where together you're doing a thing, and then maybe individually you can do a thing, or having them journal. What do you think you're good at? And then speaking to their strengths. What are you good at? Can you give me 5 of your strengths? What do you think you're good at? What do you want to work on? And helping people understand that weaknesses are not a bad thing. Weaknesses in time can turn to strengths if you choose to work on them. So I would just ask them openly and have people just in that general state of awareness with who they are. So that way, again, the outside world isn't telling them who they are. They know who they are. So by journaling and doing exercises like that, like, what am I good at? What do I want to work on? Who do I want to be? Asking those questions and then figuring out how to get them there. I want to be able to serve like this. Okay, well, this is how we're going to get you there. They show them that it's possible. Let's see. That makes me feel better hearing Kylie speak. Yeah. Melanie, you've been nervous too. I know, but I'm so proud of all of you for showing up. I mean, let me tell y'all something. The first walk, it was just my friend. I had one of my friends show up for the first Charlotte Girls Who Walk. I was by myself, but I had that one friend, and you know what she said to me? She's like, you know what? We're going to walk anyways. Yeah, we did it. We walked anyways, and we got a drink afterwards, and that was our day. And then she's like, and we're going to do it again next week. She didn't come next week, but I did. I had other friends show up. But in time, it just happened because I didn't give up on myself, and I kept going and I kept doing it, and I kept getting more and more creative, and I was willing to change and adjust myself to better suit the person I was aiming to become. I really hope that came out right. Let's see. Deleted the app and everything because I knew it wasn't going to go. Now I want to go. I needed this. Hey, Jasmine, which app are you referring to?
Yeah, I downloaded the Discord app.
Okay.
And then deleted it. But I re-downloaded it so I could attend this meeting.
Oh, good. Well, I know Discord can get a little noisy, you know what I mean? Like, because it's a chat. It's a massive chat. So if you can monitor your notifications or just go in there when you're ready, that might be a better thing to do. But also, is that why you deleted it? May I ask?
No, actually. So my notifications are always off. I deleted it because I was like, well, I'm not going to attend a meeting. Like, just like Kylie said, I was like, well, they already know each other. They've been doing this forever. Like, this sucks. So I'm just going to delete it. I know it sucks. And then I saw it, like, the Instagram page. Literally just clocked out at 6:00, saw the Instagram page, and he said, like, that the self-confidence meeting was tonight. And I was like, oh, I actually did want to do that. So I had to re-download the app.
That's awesome. Well,
But now I want to go.
yes, I'm actually really glad you joined because in all honesty, we do get girls coming back, but every walk we get over 20 new people. Like I can't tell y'all, I've gotten better at names. Like that's something that's not good. And sometimes it's like you get like 4 Rebeccas or you get like 3 Ashleys or something. And I'm like, I'm gonna do my best, but we get so many new people that I hope you can get a better feeling than to.
Yeah, no, it sounds awesome. Like the way you guys were talking about it, the pictures, like you guys look like you have so much fun. And I definitely should have gone last Sunday.
Last Sunday was fun. It was really hot though. I'm not gonna lie. It was really, I did bring rags, ice, like cold rags, but it was hot.
The rags were absolutely perfect. Thank you.
Thank God.
That was
Well,
so awesome.
I mean, we're on a light rail, and then usually we go into a restaurant or something where there is some AC, or we're fans or something. But we were pure light rail, like we were wide open.
Yeah,
So
it was definitely the best thing ever to just go and grab and just put it on my face. It was the best thing ever.
I have a whole pile of y'all's rags. It's kind of funny because I'm like, do I wash these or just throw them away? Because this is like sweat. And I was like, ugh.
Just wash them. Use it for next time.
Yeah, and I still have some sitting over here because I bought like way too many rags from the dollar store. But well, I'm glad you came, Jasmine. That's really good. Yeah, don't be nervous for sure. Sticky notes, they do work because that's gonna force you to reprogram your thoughts around what you're doing. You know, another thing that I like to do is in my notebook, I'll just draw like a line for 2 columns, you know, and then on one side, I'll say, what is my current way of thinking? What are my current thoughts, feelings, emotions, anything? I honor all of my thoughts, feelings, and emotions. I write them down. And then next to it in the other column, I pretty much write what I would prefer to think. How do I need to be thinking in order to step into this version of myself I want to be in? Right. So this is just it's like a mental exercise that I do for myself so I can actually see what I'm thinking objectively. Like, for example, if I was like you guys where I'm like, nobody's gonna like me, you know, what's something else? What's a better dialogue I could be saying to myself? You know? Because nobody's gonna like me can be rephrased to something deeper rooted. A lot of times I'm afraid of rejection, right? A lot of times I'm afraid of rejection. There's a fear involved in that. So it's more so like, I am friendly. I am worthy of great friends. I can talk to anybody. You know, I'm a people person. I can do this. You know, you got to improve that dialogue you're having with yourself. So that's just an exercise that I do sometimes. To get it out of my mind. Let's see. I'm just going through the chat here. I do have to go. Oh, okay, Jasmine. It was great to have you. Thank you so much.
Bye. Thank you so much. I promise I'll show up at a meeting or
You're
a walk,
fine.
not a meeting.
Thank you for coming. Have a good day.
You too. Bye.
Bye. So yeah, that's pretty much where I'm at with that. I mean, confidence has to be built. You have to put things into the confidence engine and you have to be intentional about it. So it's kind of like going shopping. If you want to decorate a room in your house, you should have a vision as to what you want that room to look like, colors, textures, whatever. And you go and you shop for those colors and those textures, right? Not for other colors and other textures. That's what they mean by settling. You go for what it is that you want. And you don't really stop trying until you get the thing that you want or achieve the goal. And then you build confidence. I mean, it's a muscle. So you got to trust in yourself that you'll make better decisions and all that good stuff. Kayla, did you have anything you'd like to add?
Me?
Mm-hmm.
No, I was just saying when you were talking about how you like go through like your journal on one side, just like checking the facts. Like, have you ever, done something new and you didn't make friends? If you have, then like that is disproves your thought of, no one's gonna like me, because you've been through that situation before and people have liked you and you made friends. So I just tell people, like when I teach it, you're kind of like thinking of bringing all these facts as if you're going to a judge and bringing all the information to support your negative thought, and to disprove your negative thought, and you bring it to the judge, and that judge is going to be like, do the gavel, like, that thought is wrong, like, think of a new thought, things like that.
Yeah, so essentially you should feel a sense of confidence, Kylie, now that you've done it, right? You did it and it turned out way better than you expected. That's a good thing.
And I'm excited for the next one.
Look at that. I mean, like, and the thing is, that's actually one of my goals, right? Is to get y'all talking and comfortable with each other, because that means when you step outside of this group, you're going to be able to inspire other women to do the same. Exactly. You're just going to make it easier for everybody else too. So you become the inspiration. Yes, Miss Melanie.
So I was just going to say that, like, it's nice to hear Kylie's story. And, like, I'm not new to Charlotte. Like, I've been here for, 14 years now. But I'm at that point in my life where I'm trying to make new friends, because I've kind of realized that a lot of my friends are associated with one person. And it's the nervousness of putting myself out there and making friends on my own. It's like, how do you do that if you're not in high school, when there was the easy days? And where I work, I'm a manager. So, like, I make it a rule of thumb not to go out with my staff, just because, like, you have to draw that fine line. So it's one of those things now. I'm 34 years old and I'm like, how do you even go about making friends? So, I think for me, I haven't attended a walk. I really do want to, because I have two friends who I know have gone and said great things, but it's just me getting my foot out, literally out the door to go.
First, I want to say thank you for sharing that. Thank you for that. That was, to admit that you're in that position is not always an easy thing. So thank you both, Kylie, Melanie, for sharing that. It's showing up for yourself, right? Essentially, you're showing up for you. And when you do that and you follow through, you'll feel what I'm preaching today. I have a formula for y'all. It's really, really simple. It's the if-then formula. And I find that if you execute on this formula, or if you use it and you plug things into it, you will relieve yourself of some of the fear around what you're about to do. Let me explain. If blank, comma, then blank, question mark. So it looks like this, right? Is this backwards? Is this okay? So if I go to the walk and no one talks to me, which better not happen, but let's just say, and no one talks to me, then what? So let's actually put yourself in the scenario, and then what's going to happen? No one talks to me, then what?
For the second one.
You want me to answer it?
I guess you just go about your day. No one talks to you.
I got my exercise in.
Then at least you got your exercise in. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
That's a positive way of looking at it. So then do you try again? Do you go to a different group, or do you just never step foot out of the house again? You know what I'm saying?
I would go again. I don't think I would go again. If I felt like it wasn't an environment where, like, anybody wanted to talk to me, then I'd be like, that probably wouldn't get better. So
yeah, I feel that same way, Kylie. I probably think it wasn't for me then.
Okay.
But what about the other perspective of people could be thinking the same thing that you are? So what's stopping, like, you from reaching out to other people?
Thank you.
I feel like that's what I kind of felt like when I came the first time, and everybody was in their groups, and I kind of came up the back, and I was looking for, like, the single people, like the ones standing off to the side and stuff like that. So I would naturally go to another person like that, that are also on the outs. But if absolutely nobody was talking to me and there wasn't anybody on the outs, then I probably wouldn't do it again. But I did try to look for, there's one person over here standing awkwardly, or there's one over there. Let's just form a group of our own. And that's exactly what happened. We were standing 5 separate people, and we said, "What's your name?" And we all just kind of came together. And I'm like, "This is the squad now. See you guys next Sunday."
Heck yeah.
Think about it, like, if you're like, oh, well, if no one's talking to me, then, this isn't for me. Well, then you just stand there. Yeah, no one might not talk to you. So you kind of have to put yourself out there as well. And then it's a little bit different. If you put yourself out there and then people talk to you, then like turn away or don't talk to you, that's different. But if you if you put yourself out there, I mean, 90% of the time people are going to talk to you. So what's the worst that can happen if you put yourself out there? What's the best case scenario if you put yourself out there? What's the most realistic thing that's going to happen if you put yourself out there?
So a lot of times we feel fear when we haven't thought through like the scenarios. What if? So I had one scenario where I was going to reach out to somebody from my past. I'm just going to get personal for 2 seconds. I was going to reach out to somebody from my past who I just wanted to be friends with. He was crossing my mind, and I was like, you know what? I want to reach out to this person. So I was like, all right, so I'm about to send a text after like a year of not talking to this person. I'm going to be that weirdo that pops up out of nowhere. And I'm going to just say, why this person's crossed my mind, and I hope that all is going well. And so before I sent the message, I had to mentally prepare for potential consequences, like what could happen afterwards. And so the first one was, okay, let's say I send the text, he doesn't respond. Then what? I'm going to be fine. If this person does not respond, I haven't talked to him in a year, I'm going to be fine. At least I followed my heart, my instinct, and I still put myself out there and I tried. Okay, what if he comes back?
You froze on my end. I don't know if anyone else is experiencing that. Okay.
Yeah, froze on my end too.
It sounded good. I wanted to hear it.
I know.
I was just about to do the chat and be like, did we all disconnect?
Yeah. I have to get out to one of those walks. It's just been church that's been keeping me from going. But the Tuesday walks, I'm all down for.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to go to both. Because different sets of people.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm back. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
Sorry about that, internet. So the third one was like, what if he wants to have a conversation with me? Am I mentally prepared to have a conversation? And then we don't know what we're going to talk about. This guy could have been like, F you. You never know how somebody's going to react to you. But what I did for myself was I just prepared myself for the possible outcome. That way, I already had a plan B for whatever happened in any scenario. So if I went to a walk and nobody wanted to talk to me, and I tried to talk to somebody and I was rejected, then that's probably not the place for me. But if I go to the walk and nobody talks to me, but I decide to be brave and I start a conversation and this person reciprocates, then you stay and you possibly go to another one, or maybe you go to the, that's what I think y'all get the point, right? I just like to use this if then, like I used this in my speech yesterday, like, because I was talking about a SWOT analysis, which is strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. So we nailed down the potential threats, the things that could interfere with you achieving your goal. And I use this formula, like, what happens if I lose my voice? Then what? What happens if I lose my voice and I'm about to give a speech? That's some scary stuff to think through, right? Everybody's been invited. We've got like 300 people coming. Just kidding. Robyn can't talk. Like you got to think through these things. So I can reschedule the appointment, or I can reschedule the event, or cancel the event. There are things that you can do to just prepare. That's just to kind of reduce some fear around it. But at least you put yourself out there, right? At least you did that. Well, if y'all don't have anything else, I pretty much yapped for about 55 minutes. So, or 50 minutes or so. Did y'all find this helpful? Yeah.
Yes, thank you. It was really good.
And please come out, Melanie. You know what I did when I didn't have any friends, or the friends that I didn't want to have anymore? I started a walking group.
I promise. I will come to the next one. I promise. Hold me to it, please.
Okay. Well, we do have a self-care day on Sunday, but we have them all booked out. Kirsten and I have been scheduling our collabs for, the next couple of months. So the invite will be out. Would love to have you. New people show up every week. And just so you know, you'll see the numbers going up. Like we're getting more followers every day. We are a slower growing group versus like Arizona or Chicago, where they hit like 5,000 in a week. I don't think our city is quite as big as theirs, but there's always growth happening. So you're going to find new people probably just like you who are nervous, but please be brave. And I'd love to meet you in person. So, all right. Well, I'll let you all go. I hope you have an awesome Thursday and a great weekend. I'll see you in Discord.
Yeah, thank you for doing this.
You're welcome. I'll chat with
Thank
you.
you. You have a good weekend.
Thanks, Melanie.
Yeah,
Chat with you soon.